Good evening and welcome to Ultimate Dirt TV. I'm Stephen Bill along with BJ Devon. Good evening and welcome to Ultimate Dirt TV. Anyway, first on the track at card number 9 is Brandon Holder on the track. Also, he has our live side-by-side tonight. I believe. There he is, Mikey Neal Jr.
Yeah, look, you finally got it back for us.
He did. He wants to qualify on the pole tonight, so he brought back the cam. Also, track car number 46, Sean Kostritza, David Farmer, Chuck Blake, John Kinder, Curtis Preston, Jonathan Swartz, Josh Clemens, and Tony Iverson all on the track. And it looks like he's going to start it all over, BJ.
Yeah, you mess up your outlap, it's always nice to have that free chance to be able to go back and do it over again.
And looking at side by side, you see Sean Kostritz on the right-hand side. And on the left-hand side, it's Josh Clemens. Josh Clemens in the 28 machine.
Top 5 right now, qualifying. Excuse me.
And Mikey this time is right up against that wall. He's going to start over one more time. Now coming on the track, the Bass Pro Shops car number 09. That is Bryce Hunter. Bryce Hunter in the 09.
Our top 5 in qualifying right now, we got Josh Clemens just takes over pole position. Jonathan Atkins second. John Kinder third. Make it Adam Lancaster second. And David Brackett moves into fifth.
Well, one good thing, the paints match on both screens, so that's a good sign.
So far, so good.
Next, coming on to the track. In the 31 machine is Blake Hensley. Blake Hensley in the 31. That's Clemens, Lancaster, Atkins, Kinder, Farmer. You're still your top 5 here with the Bluegrass Cup Series here at Michigan. That young man had a podium finish last night in the Xfinity Series.
And finally getting himself a good run after struggling the first 2 weeks. Managed to come out and come home with a 3rd place finish. Man, that one came right down to the wire last night.
Definitely it did. Blake Hensley thought he had something. Didn't pick up the win. He came home, I believe, 3rd or 2nd last night.
3rd. Came home in 3rd.
And he led a lot of laps in the Xfinity Series. His first lap is 18th quick in car number 31. That is Blake Hensley.
Yep. Mikey Neal Jr. moves himself into 5th quick, making the top 5. Clemens, Lancaster, Atkins, Kinder, and Neal. Also, there you see Mikey and Neal Jr.
Next person on the track in car number 99 is Peyton Hubbard. Peyton Hubbard in the 99.
Blake Hensley will move into that 15th spot. Ron Morris Jr. on track moved into 17th. Ryan Steddle moved into 19th.
Look at I believe that's Panthers. On the 29 of Travis Twitty. Well, not sharp looking car he has here tonight.
Yeah, sure, I believe it's Black Panther from Marvels.
And there is the DeWalt 13 of Brian Terry. shut it off before completing the lap. There is Peyton Hubbard. Coming to the start-finish line to see where he goes. He goes to 25th quick. 25 drivers are timed in. Coming on to the racing surface in car number 3 is Brandon Robertson. Brandon Robertson and car number 3. And just in case you don't know who he is, this says Brandon on the side of his car. He definitely don't want people to get confused. And look at Mike Peters. Mike Peters in the 96 goes second quick in the 96 machine. So it's Clemens, Peters, Lancaster, Atkins, Kinder, your top 5 so far qualifying.
Mike Peters takes over that second spot. Still yet to qualify. We got 26 times in yet to qualify. We got Frankie Barroso, CJ Mason, Wyatt Brackett, Jason Stevenson, Keith Hackney, Brandon Robertson, GT Hawkins, Travis Twitty, Bill Hales, Alex Huffman, James Silvers, Scott Fritz, and Brad Gebhardt have yet to get a time in here in qualifying. Not a bad turnout. Another really good turnout, Steve. They got 39 drivers once again. Brandon Robertson moves himself into 10th quick.
Also making his way onto the racing surface, car number 14 is GT Hawkins. GT Hawkins in the 14 machine. Mo Abbott goes 24th quick. Travis Twitty makes it to 22nd. GT Hawkins goes 29th on his first lap. 29 drivers are timed in. Ten more to go.
And Josh Clemens, the only driver to go underneath that 38.9 mark. Everybody else 38.9s or higher. Majority of the field in 39s. Very, very fast times going down here for Michigan tonight.
How about Brandon Robertson going to 4th quick in the number 3 car, and GT Hawkins goes to 6th quick on his second lap. $29 drivers timed in as Clemens, Peters, Lancaster, Robertson, and Atkins are top 5. Hawkins, Kinder, Neal, Jr., Farmer, and Brackett, your top 10.
These guys got around about 1 minute here left in qualifying, trying to get a time. And you know one thing that we talked about a little bit on Monday, these guys, whenever they come out and qualify, you'll see them run their first lap up on the high side. It'll be the slower lap. They'll run around, try to pick up the momentum, try to pick up as much speed as they possibly can, and then they drop down to the bottom side of the track for their second lap to try to shorten the track as much as possible, get the best lap time they possibly can out on track. Now you see them on screen. That's the 2 of Alex Huffman. You see right there, right up against the wall on his first lap. Will cut down to try to get the momentum rolling down the hill and back up to allow his car. If you fight against the car, you'll start losing momentum, so it lets the car roll up. Not going to be enough time for Alex Huffman to get a time in. His time will tick down. He's got 5 seconds remaining here in qualifying.
Alrighty, qualifying is over. It's time for your starting grid, but before that, let's take a look at your official results on the board. Clemens, Peters, Lancaster, Robertson, and Atkins still your top 5. Here's tonight's starting lineup. And on the pole with the 28 in the high side Hustler Motorsports is Josh Clemens, and to the south side, the Awesome Shop, Mike Peters in the 96.
Row number 2 to the inside, Elite Motorsports had a good run last night. Just didn't quite end just the way that he wanted to. It's the 7 of Adam Lancaster. To his outside, the YN YNH Motorsports number 3. He's last year's Xfinity champion, Brandon Robertson.
In row number 3 to the inside, the Shock Eye Racing Performance, car number 57, Jonathan Atkins, a.k.a. Watt. And to his outside, the Cornerstone Motorsports, car number 14, GT Hawkins.
Row number 4 to the inside. Out of Carolina, it's the 5 of John Kinder. To his outside, Team Syndicate number 8, Mikey Neal Jr.
In row number 5 to the inside is David Farmer, and to his outside, David Brackett.
Row number 6 to the inside, Fast Lane Motorsports number 95, Jonathan Swartz. To his outside, the Syndicate number 9, Brandon Holder.
In row number 7 to the inside is WJM Motorsports, car number 27, Roger Pierce. And to his outside, the high side Hustler Motorsports, car number 72, Tony Iverson.
Row number 8 to the inside, World of Thunder Racing number 46, Sean Kostritza. And to his outside, Fast Motorsports number 09, Bryce Hunter.
In row number 9 to the inside is Curtis Press, and to his outside, Blake Hensley.
Row number 10 to the inside, YNH Motorsports number 15, Matt Grenier. And to his outside, Ron Morris Racing number 76, Ron Morris Jr.
Row number 11 to the inside, car number 97 in Flex Motorsports. It's Alex Healy. To his outside, Dustin Reinstedt on the JC Motorsports, car number 18.
Row number 12 on the inside, high side Hustlers number 29, Travis Twitty. And to his outside, the 49 of Chuck Blake.
Rolling off 25th tonight, it'd be Jason Bridges. To his outside, Bo Abbott in the Color Teal Racing, car number 48.
Row 14 inside, now it's going to be Peyton Hubbard and Nick Mills.
Row number 15 be Brian Terry in the 13. To his outside, Alex Huffman in the 2.
Row number 16 to the inside is going to be James Silvers and Brad Gebhardt. To his outside.
And row number 17 to the in and to the out is Wyatt Brackett in the Fast Banana Racing. And to his outside is Silver Fox Racing, car number 53, Bill Hale.
Row number 18 inside, now it's going to be Frankie Barroso and Scott Fritz.
Keith Hackney roll off 37th in Cornerstone Motorsports, car number 69. Alongside him be CJ Mason in the 54. And rounding out your field is Jason Stevenson in the BP Racing for Autism. That is tonight's starting grid, 39 drivers. Let's see here. Let's see. There we go. Lights are going out. Barty's showing them 1 to go signal. Mike Peters and Josh Clemens on your front row.
Yeah, Clemens had a bit of a struggle this week here at Michigan. Coming out tonight, showing strong, starting on the pole, be in control of the field when we hit the Geico restart zone. Things might be looking up for him tonight. Try to get a good roll forward. Try to get himself a good night going. Let's see just how well it plays into his hands tonight. One thing we haven't really seen yet this season, Steve, I don't think we've seen anybody come from the pole and win the race yet this season here in Bluegrass. See if we can, see if Josh Clemens can't change the trend.
Nope, it's not. He's not going to be able to. Mikey Neal's going to win it.
Yeah, we've got his camera. It's always good luck for him. It's even better luck when he puts UDTV on the car. I mean, I'm just saying.
Alrighty. Pulling into the pit lane, ladies and gentlemen. Josh Clemens and Mike Peters bringing the field to the green flag. Barty's waving it. We're racing here at Michigan with the Bluegrass Cup Series. Good start there for Mike Peters on the outside line. Josh Clemens right there on the bottom as they head into turn number 1. Side by side, BJ the top 2 out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Peters is going to clear him.
It's not something you see very often for second place to get the jump on the leader there on the initial start of the race, but Mike Peters has a fantastic start. You see him down to the bottom side at Adam Lancaster starting to squeeze by now in that number 7 machine on the inside. Wants to take over that second spot. Has Josh Clements at the line. Brandon Robertson right there. Jonathan Atkins right there as well. Side by side for second. Side by side for fourth.
Definitely some good racing going on, that's for sure. And let's take a look at Mikey Neal Jr.
Yellow.
Caution out on the racetrack. So take a look at him and it goes caution.
Well,
Blake Hensley.
Blake Hensley running into issues there. You see him loose. Sounded like he had a little bit of contact from behind. Right there it is. Just ever so slight to the left rear, just enough to get him out of whack while he's in the middle of recovering it. Right there's Travis Twitty with nowhere to go. Gets into the back of him and around he goes. Not the way he wants to start his night.
As your
pretty lucky, though.
NLRA instant replay.
Got pretty lucky, though, I'd say, Steve. He got away with very minimal damages on that number 31.
He did.
Top 5 now looks like it's Mike Peters, Adam Lancaster, Josh Clemens, Brandon Robertson, and Jonathan Atkins. It's the way your top 5 sits right now. Not the start to the race that Josh Clemens was looking for, but he's still right there in the mix. He's still inside the top 3. Still got a fighting chance at it in a long race to do it.
Well, it's partly cloudy skies. The track temp is 102. The surface temperature is 72 degrees, BJ, or the temperature outside. Quite a difference. 102 on the track, 72 in the air. Wind blowing at 5 miles an hour.
Yeah, it tells me that it is evening time. The air has started cooling down, and the track that has absorbed the heat all day long has not quite caught up. But a little bit of info in the background of the race stage break tonight. Lap number 40 coming into tonight. The top 5 in points going to be Curtis Preston leading the way. Brandon Holder in second. GT Hawkins in third. Ryan Patty fourth. And James Silvers rounding out the top 5 coming into tonight's race.
How about that? We're on lap number 4. Brian Terry, Bill Hell, CJ Mason, Alex Huffman all went down pit road. So did Blake Hensley. Frankie Barroso in that 32nd spot there in the 12 machine. Roger Pierce up 2 spots in 11th, the 27. Mikey Neal lost 2 spots at the start of the race in that number 8 machine.
So the lights are going out on the pace car. Driver's getting set to go. Back green. Mike Peters chooses the inside this time. A little surprised to see that, Steve, after having such a good initial start to this race and taking off immediately and heading for the race lead. A little surprised to see him choose the inside after that.
That's right. We're going to go to the side-by-side for the start of this race, as we're going back green on lap number 6. So, Adam Lancaster in that 7 machine roll off on the outside. Josh Clemens in third. Then you have Brandon Robertson. Jonathan Atkins roll off in fifth with GT Hawkins to his outside. We only had one caution last night in the Xfinity Series. Let's see if we can keep that alive. Or they had two last night. Let's see if we can keep it alive with one.
Green's out. Green flag.
Green flag is out. Good start there for Mike Peters. Adam Lancaster there in that second spot.
Mike Peters really seems to have something figured out here on these starts and restarts. Huge jump for him taking off. Lancaster now under attack from Brandon Robertson right there behind him. Robertson's going to fall in line now, coming to the inside of Robertson. That's GT Hawkins. He's had some good runs this season. Wants to continue. Wants to finish tonight with one of those good runs. Takes a look for that third position. Has it by a nose through turns 3 and 4.
Coming out turn number 4. Now he's looking to the inside of Adam Lancaster. But the three of Brandon Robertson's battling back on the outside. He's giving Lancaster a push. Lancaster to the outside of Mike Peters and give Lancaster the new race lead here. It's world lap number 7, and this is still going to go on pretty well. Side by side, that is for third spot. Now up to second, Brandon Robertson trying to get everything out of that car on the outside line there. Alongside Mike Peters in the 96 machine.
It just goes to show how strong the momentum can really be on the outside, especially when you got a teammate behind you pushing. Those two drivers just absolutely carrying tons of momentum around that outside, pushed straight forward and allowed Adam Lancaster to take the race lead, picking up where he kind of, in a way, left off partway through the race. Last night in Xfinity, you know, he was up towards the front all night long. Just at the end of the night, did not quite play in his favor with pit strategy.
Now look at David Farmer up 5 spots. He's in that 4th position there as they're 3 wide. Look at GT Hawkins all the way down to the bottom. Mike Peters gets around him. Here comes David Farmer around him. And then you have Jonathan Atkins into 57 now alongside the 14 of GT Hawkins. Good racing going on 2 by 2. Let's take a look a little further back. Mikey Neal Jr. in the 8 machine, currently running in the 11th. There's David Brackett in 12th. And there's Tony Iverson. Iverson in the 72 machine, running 13th. There's Sean Kostritza in 14th. Bryce Hunter directly behind him in that 15th spot. This is Bass Pro Shop 09. And right there is Curtis Preston in the 20. Currently running 16th with Josh Clemens. Your pole sitters dropped 16 spots, BJ. Gotta wonder if it's something awry on that car or just trying to play it safe.
I've got to think it's got to be a strategy call. You know, take it easy on your tires early on, have that extra grip later compared to everybody else, and try to propel forward. Josh Clemens is a veteran out here. You know, I wouldn't expect him, couldn't really imagine him falling back like that without some kind of strategy, considering the fact he has no damages on that number 28 machine. So I'd have to say this would got to be strategy for him to be dropping back.
Well, I'm going to assume the 15 is Matt Grenier because he has Matt all over the side of his car. And he's getting under attack there, Matt Grenier is. With Ron Morris Jr., we got caution right ahead, right there on the back straightaway. The 57 involved. The 46 involved. Wow. The 7 is involved.
This one happening right up at the front of the pack, just collecting a ton of drivers, parking lot back straightaway.
Let's see here. There's Nick Mills. So much action, it kind of lit up the scoreboard.
I'm not entirely sure, but it sounded like a driver claimed that one. I didn't catch who it was. It sounded like one driver claimed that one, and another one denied it and said no. There was a mix of things going on. Woo! Was that the race leader? Was that Brandon Robertson? It was indeed.
Let's take a look here.
So the leaders at the beginning of this wreck.
There you see them side by side. Brandon Robertson into 3 on the bottom there. Looked like got loose out of 4. Maybe a little tap there from the 14. Not too sure.
I don't believe he did. It just looks like he got loose and down the track. Yeah, it took the 14. Looks like he got close enough to take the air off the right rear of the number 3. And that caused the rear end to wash out on that 3 car, and then recovery just come right up across the nose of the 14. Steve, we're lucky to not have more drivers involved in this one, being literally the leaders right in front of everybody.
Well, if you look at it right there. Looks like he just takes the air off maybe. Gets sideways, comes across.
It just sweeps right across the rear end. No contact, just takes the air right off of it, unloading the rear tires of the 3.
So Mike Peters came out of that unscathed. John Kinder now in second. Brandon Holder in third. Jonathan Schwartz and David Brackett, your top 5. Down pit road is Lancaster, Robertson, Atkins, Gebhardt, Farmer, Strutza, Huffman, Hawkins, and Hubbard. All down pit road.
The laundry list of drivers receiving damages from that caution. Several of them right from inside the top 5.
We're under caution number 2. Lights go out. Brandon Holder going to choose Mike Peters going to choose the inside for the restart. John Kinder will restart to the outside of row number 1. Row number 2 would be Brandon Holder and Jonathan Schwartz. Row number 3 would be David Brackett and Mikey Neal Jr. Row number 5 would be, row number 4, will be Bryce Hunter and Curtis Preston. These drivers trying to catch back up. You got one into the wall there. That's Brandon Robertson. That's not going to be good as they're trying to catch up to the pack. Front of the pack's down the back straightaway.
They got time. It's a long way around this place.
Long way around, short time to get there. How about that? 100 laps.
There we go. Pace car comes out of turn 4. I take the green flag. 14 laps down. Starting a lap number 15. Pace cars on pit road. Mike Peters going to bring us to the green. We look on board with Mikey Neal Jr. Green flag is out. Mike Peters didn't get quite as good of a jump as what he's been getting, but still got a tremendous jump out. And caution flag is going to come right back out.
That's not something that they wanted to see. Hold on a second. Got Mikey Neal stuck up there. Let's see. There we go. Sean Kostritza. We're going to rewind it here.
It looked like Sean just got a tag from behind. Is that the 88 of Nick Mills behind him there, I think? See really big gaps between all the drivers there.
Oh, he just lost on himself. Looks like maybe he missed a gear.
Yeah, and I'm just going to point this out. I'm going to blame this one on iRacing itself, because I had an issue one other time before when I was racing these on the Bristol Dirt Fur League. It actually lost me the race. I led the entire race and then went to shift from third gear into fourth gear on a restart, and the car went into neutral. And here's the kicker. These cars are sequential. That shouldn't even be possible. So I'm gonna credit this one on iRacing, if that is the case. We don't know, but if that is the case and he missed a gear, I'm gonna credit this one to iRacing.
Curtis Preston and Keith Hackney coming down pit road. Keith Hackney in the yellow machine there. Also, Josh Clemens, Jason Burgess, Travis Twitty, Dustin Runstidle, Tony Iverson, Nick Mills, Brad Giphart, CJ Mason. Almost the whole back half of the pack coming down pit road.
No doubt. Good.
I was going to say, they're just right about getting some fuel. They don't want to probably waste their tires.
Probably a good chance that several of those drivers are ones that were involved in that last caution, too, is what I was thinking. Coming down, trying to get a few more seconds for repairs, get things back rolling, and have as little amount of damage as that's possible.
Well, and this is what caused the wreck ahead. Hold on a second. Let's see here. Hold on. Let's see if we can zoom in. Brandon Robertson's car. Your name right here.
Is this like a your name here situation?
Mike Peters from Houston, Texas, your race leader, as we're lap number 17. Just think, BJ, last night we were already halfway through the race. They were flying last night.
We were actually. I do believe it was right about this time. We were hitting the stage break, or close to the stage break last night.
See the drivers coming off the pit road. Getting up to speed, enjoying the field as lights do go out on the pace car. Mike Peters will choose the inside for the restart. John Kinder to his outside. Row number 2 will be Brandon Holder, Jonathan Schwartz in the 95. Then you got Mikey Neal Jr. and the 38 of David Brackett in row number 3. Bryce Hunter having a good little run there in a 09.
He stayed clean, made his way inside the top 10. Looking pretty good tonight.
Yes. Well, you know what we're going to do? We're going to try it one more time with Mikey. Right on board with Mikey as we go to the green. Announced with us Monday night, brought some excitement to the booth. He knew we were tired from Sunday. Green flag is out. We're watching Mikey get on up there. He has the 96 of Mike Peters, your race leader. John Kinder there at second. Then you got the side-by-side with the 9 of Brandon Holder. Mikey Neal coming out the turn, number 2, PJ. Going up against that wall, looking to the outside of Brandon Holder in the 9. As they head into turn number 3. You see him letting off the gas right there. Now back on it.
It carried quite a lot of momentum when he came off of turn number 2. Just moved his way right in. Now he's putting heavy pressure on the back bumper of the 95 of Jonathan Swartz. You know, Steve, last week it seemed like Mikey Neal Jr., Jonathan Swartz, and I'm having a brain fart. There's another driver in the mix there, but 3 drivers were back and forth at it for the race lead for the longest time. Jonathan Atkins, World Thunder Racing, that was the other driver. There's 3 drivers. Seemed like they were at it for quite a while, late race. And I believe it was Jonathan Swartz that was able to come home with it.
See 4 wide action throughout the pack as we're going to go to the Cricket Up Cam. Sights and sounds of these cars as they head into turn number 3.
And I stand corrected. GT Hawkins is the one who managed to pull it off last week's winner. Currently, I'm not even sure where, Steve. 33rd, not the night that he is. 34th, not the night that he is looking for. But out in front, it is still Mike Peters, followed by John Kinder, Jonathan Swartz, Mikey Neal Jr., both those 2 drivers working their way forward. Mo Abbott up 21 spots to make his way inside of the top 5. Now he actually moves forward ahead of Mikey Neal Jr. Mikey Neal Jr. falls back to 6th. Battle for the race lead through turns 3 and 4. John Kinder looking around the outside of Mike Peters. Has the position off of turn number 4. He's going to slide down in front of Mike Peters. Got him at the line, new race leader.
Out front here at Michigan. The Bluegrass iRacing Cup Series on lap number 23. You see Mo Abbott there in that 3rd spot, looking to the inside of Mike Peters as they go down the back straightaway. Now Jonathan Swartz putting his name in the hat on the outside. Looking a little further back, Frankie Barroso in that 12th machine up 26 spots and one up Wyatt Brackett in the 10. He's up 25 spots as those 2 drivers are side by side for 9th and 10th on the board. Keith Hackney right there in the yellow 69 machine. And then I haven't talked much about Scott Fritz. He's currently in that 11th position with Rod Morris Jr. sitting there in 12th. Blake Kinsley. Haven't talked much about him. Here's Blake looking calm here tonight.
Chewing his gum, just relaxing.
Yep. Here he is. Live look in. Mikey Neal Jr. now back up to 3rd, looking racy. And there he is. Let's look at him. He's kind of leaning there a little bit. He's carrying your Bluegrass live look in. Mikey Neal Jr. to Huffman Designs, car number 8.
I'm looking to see if he's going to blink. Oh, there it is. He finally blinked. Okay, yeah, I was going to say, man, he's so focused he ain't even blinking.
Going back to full screen, we're still having a battle for the race lead. Mike Peters and John Kinder. Kinder to the inside of Peters. Peters on the outside trying to make it work. As they come out turn number 4, we're going to complete lap number 25. Now coming to lap number 26. Mike Peters scored as race leader at the line, but these 2 side by side is allowing Mikey Neal Jr. to close the gap. And look at Mo Abbott just sitting there, up 22 spots. Frankie Barroso up 30 spots now in the 5th spot.
Several drivers starting to head down pit road for green flag pit stops. A little surprised to see it. 95 Jonathan Swartz down pit road. Pierce comes out of his pit stop. He'll be heading down pit road. Side-by-side battles all throughout this field. Steve, I think this might be the most racy night we've had.
Oh, definitely a racy night. A lot of competition and some good racing. And the big one, the parking lot on the front straightaway there. Frankie Barroso and Brandon Holder side by side. Then you got Keith Hackney in the 7th spot. He's up 30 spots. Looking to the inside as Mike Peters coming down pit road. He relinquishes the lead to John Kinder. The Kinder Performance. So Peters, Brackett, Healy, and Morris Jr. all down pit road. Pit stops on lap number 28. Mike Peters Jr. still hanging in that 2nd spot as John Kinder is your race leader. Mo Abbott right there at a 48 machine. Scott Fritz sitting there in that 9th position of 27 spots. Blake Hensley right ahead of him. They're right behind his back, Grenier. Grenier running into the top 10 right now. So here comes Curtis Preston. Grenier making his pit stop. So John Kinder, Mo Abbott, Mikey Dale Jr., Brendan Holder, Bryce Hunter, and David Brackett all down pit road. They relinquish their lead back or over to Frankie Barroso in that 12 machine. And Keith Hatton now running 2nd. There is Blake Hensley.
Frankie Barroso, one of those drivers who's been kind of quiet this season. Last season, picked up a couple of wins. Now out here this season, running the 12 once again, leading the race right now. He's been quiet, hasn't made a whole lot of noise this season. We look on board with Blake Hensley once again. Scored right now in that 3rd spot. That was a little close.
Yeah, it looked like Keith Hackney scraped the wall there just a tad bit. Blake Hensley's now closed up to the back bumper as drivers who made a pit stop are coming back onto the racing surface. Mike Peters right ahead of Frankie Barroso. That's the 38 of David Brackett going the lap down.
Blake Hensley will be bringing it down pit road this time.
Right on board with him while he goes to pit road.
There's Barroso. He called out his pit stop. He'll be heading down this time as well. That'll move the lead over to Keith Hackney. Have not heard the 69 call out a pit stop yet, but he's about to be left all by himself. Scott Fritz called out his pit stop as well.
There's Frankie Barroso from Miami, Florida. Right ahead of him, you see, is Mike Peters. He's leading when he came down there. I think he's still down there. Here comes Frankie Barroso. Keith Hackney will take over the lead on lap number 32. Preston in that 2nd spot, BJ, in the 20 machine. There's Jason Bridges in 3rd.
A lot of drivers taking advantage of the green flag pit stops, making their way up towards the front. Several of them inside the top 5 right now, pitted on a caution on lap 16. James Silver's pitted on lap 12, where you see on the left-hand side of your screen, you got the pit strategy just to the right of your left-hand screen. So laps continue to wind down here. You see those little bars growing right there. That is how long it's been since they pitted. You see James Silver, he's got biggest stretch right there at 20 laps. So we'll see just how long he can take it, how long he decides to keep it out on the track. Everybody else at 15, 16 lap marks there.
Well, there is Preston and Keith Hackney. Preston now getting around Keith Hackney for the race lead in the 20 machine.
Almost looks as though Keith Hackney just gave it to him there. Just pulled to the side and let him go.
Well, there's no need to hold someone up there faster, especially at this point of the race.
Yeah. Do have stage break coming right about 6.5 laps. As man's best friend decides to give their 2 cents on the race out here. Our top 5 right now is Curtis Preston, Keith Hackney, Nick Mills, Jason Bridges, and Josh Clemens. Now 6 laps remaining here in stage number 1. Curtis Preston looking good. Just gotta finish it out, make the distance. Here you see him looking to the inside of the 38 of, I believe that is David Bridges.
Yep, and there's Chuck Blake going to get a lap back the hard way going around Preston. We now go to the side-by-side cam. Curtis Preston, your race leader. There's Nick Mills now in second in the 88. Keith Hackney right there in third in the 69. And there is Jason Bridges in fourth. Josh Clemens right there in the 28. He was your pole sitter tonight. You know what, BJ? It might have been a good thing he fell back early, just to be honest, after seeing that red.
Yeah, was able to stay free and clear of it, have a safe passage through that wreck. Started at the front between the top 3 drivers, bringing that caution out. So and falling back might have been the safe bet for him there.
As we're on lap number 36 and lap number 37 right now. As Chris Preston versus Nick Mills into 88. Jason Bridges right there now in third. And there's Josh Clemens in fourth. Got around Keith Hackney in that 5th position. You know, maybe Hackney's trying to save. We said the stage ends in what lap, BJ?
Lap number 40. We're 3.5 laps away.
So, you know, Keith Hackney's probably just trying to hang in there.
I'd say he's probably getting close on fuel, and that's why we see him so far off pace right now and just letting drivers come by. Wants the best finish he can possibly get in the stage, and that option is to stay out for that. Right now, just trying to hold on. Curtis Preston actually pitted on the same lap that Keith Hackney did, but a good chance that he saved earlier. Because right now he's in the race lead. Doesn't look like he has any intentions of looking back.
3 laps to go to the stage break. You look there at 3. That's Brandon Holder. Not Brandon Holder. That was Brandon Robinson. Down. Preston. Only 2 to go. Next time, be the white flag for the stage.
Pit road egg. Good. I was gonna say pit road exit just closed, and James Silvers was calling out a pit stop. I'm not sure if he's staying out. Looks like he did, but that's gonna push his luck a little bit in that number 17. If he wasn't gonna make it, wasn't looking like he was gonna make it. Now pit road pit road has closed. He might be in danger in that number 17 of running out of fuel.
Well, coming to the white flag for the stage. Preston battling with the 38 of David Brackett. Trying to put him a lap down. David Brackett giving everything he got to stay on that lead lap. You see him right there kind of pinching him down. That's the exit turn number 2. They're side by side. Nick Mills still in that 2nd spot. Keith Hackney now is falling back to 8th. Give it up for Jason Bridges in that 3rd spot. Josh Clemens directly behind him in 4th. Tony Iverson up to 5th. Battling with Dustin Rice still there. So here we are coming out of turn number 4. We're going to win. Curtis Preston wins that stage. As you take a look at your top 10, Preston, Mills, Bridges, Clemens, Rinstedel, Huffman, Iverson, Hackney, Mason, and Twitty. Give it up for Travis Twitty in the 29 in that 10th spot. Doing a lot really good this season in the Cup Series, Travis Twitty is.
A lot of drivers really coming into the groove this season, really stepping up and getting some good finishes out here, some good runs. Speaking of good runs, man, we got several drivers we don't normally see up towards the front that pit strategy worked out for them. They were able to come home with good finishes inside the top 10 here in the stage, like that of Jason Bridges, CJ Mason, Travis Twitty. Good run for all those drivers. We take a look now at our league sponsors.
It's up the Designs Buckner. Feel what you've been missing. Kinder Performance, JJ Gaming, Elevated Outdoors, and Next Level Racing. They sponsored the hard charger for the Truck Series here on Monday night. Thank them for doing that. As we're taking it down pit road as everybody coming down, BJ.
This is the time you want to fill up on fuel. Looks like Wyatt Brackett stayed out there. A little surprised on that one. Wyatt Brackett did the last pit on lap 27, but everybody down pit road topping off on fuel. It's the time for them to get their tires, and I believe everybody stayed on the same tire set during that green flag pit stop. I don't think anybody took tires for that. But
someone hit head on to the pit road wall.
That was
17
of
and Healy. Wow.
Yeah. Alex Healy completely the wrong direction. Probably the better scenario though is James Silverson at 17 very well could have took damages. Get a little rewind here and take a look at the replay.
Pit road really congested. As there you see Brad Gebhart coming on track, out of pit stall. There's the 53.
Alex Healy, see him letting off the gas right there to get the 53 by him so he get to his pit stop. And drivers are just juking and driving, trying to get around, trying to get away. Healy does hit that inside wall.
He wasn't the only driver.
And James Silvers was turned as well.
There's James Silvers in a 17 machine. Curtis Preston.
Hang on, we're not going green.
Your race leader, Nick Mills, to his outside. That's row number 1 for this restart. Row number 2 being Josh Clemens and Alex Huffman. Keith Hackney and Jason Bridges, row number 3. Farmer and Renstittle, row number 4. Row number 5 be Atkins and Twitty. There's Sean Kostritza on pit road. Must be calling it a night.
He has had a bit of a rough go at it. We've seen him turn multiple times. Lights are out on the pace car.
Oh, no, they're on.
They are on. Wait, it looked like they were out. Looks like Curtis Preston will choose the inside. It did look like they were out on my screen.
We head to Atlanta next week, I believe.
That would be correct for Xfinity. I believe everybody's staying the same. Yes, Atlanta Motor Speedway on the new configuration, Steve. 26 degrees of banking on a 1.5-mile track. It's like being on a super speedway at a 1.5 miles. Wicked fast laps, wicked fast speeds. It's going to be an exciting week next week.
That's right. BJ's going to bring you to the green.
Well, Are we in turn 4 yet? No. Heading down the back straightaway still. So, Curtis Preston, Nick Mills, row 1. Josh Clemens, Alex Huffman, row 2. Keith Hackney, Jason Bridges, row 3. Hackney's not, he's not been doing a lot of qualifying in this series, it seems like. And, starting back towards the back, working his way forward. Right now, up 32 positions to be inside the top 5. Winning week number 1 in that number 69 machine. Trying to bring home another win as we roll through turns 3 and 4. Curtis Preston going to bring us back to that Geico restart zone here momentarily. We'll see the pace car make a hard left-hand turn towards the pits. Right there it is, heading down to the bottom of the track. Now off of the track.
All right, green flag is out. Good start there for Curtis Preston. Keith Hackney all over the tail tank of the 2 of Alex Huffman as they go into turn number 1 there. The top 3 single filed out right now. Clemens and Hackney still side by side. Hackney will clear Clemens. Clemens will fall to that 5th spot. And there's Jason Bridges, the 6th. David Farmer right there in 7th. There's Dustin Ronstidle. He has Jonathan Atkins in his hip pocket. And, you know, Atkins to the inside of him. He will clear him. Give Atkins that 9th or 8th spot as Ronstidle falls back to 9th. There's Travis Twitty with a top 10, BJ. Doing pretty good. We got drivers coming down pit road, probably to, what, serve a penalty maybe?
Has a good chance to come down to serve a penalty. That would be my guess. Blake Hensley and race control having differences at the moment. He's one of the drivers down pit road. Still out in front is Curtis Preston, followed by Nick Mills, Keith Hackney, Alex Huffman, Josh Clemens is your top 5. Here comes Keith Hackney. Huge run to the outside of Nick Mills right there for that 2nd position. He will clear Nick Mills out of turn number 4. Now to the inside of Nick Mills is going to be the 2 machine of Alex Huffman. Huffman, he's had some really good runs this season. Started at the back tonight, now coming forward up 27 spots for that 3rd position as he does have it over Nick Mills now.
Well, you look at it, Preston continued to lead, but here comes Hackney all over him. Down the back straightaway, up and right there in 3rd with Nick Mills. Going to see Preston going to the inside. There's Hackney. He's going to try to make a move on the outside. He closes up alongside about a turn number 4. Hackney trying to get that run. But at the line, it's going to be Preston. They're side by side going into turn number 1. There is Alex Huffman in the hip pocket of the 69 as they head into turn number 1. Nick Mills in that 4th spot. They got Jason Bridges having a good run to that 34 machine. Coming out turn number 2 down the back straightaway. See Preston Hill fall in line there. So that is your top 5. Then you have David Farmer in 6th there in an 84 machine. Jonathan Atkins, he's currently running at 7th. There's Josh Clemens, your pole sitter, in 8th. Travis Twitty in 9th. Brad Gebhart right there behind him. And here's Frankie Barroso pulling up alongside Brad Gebhart side by side. And you know, Mikey Neal Jr., he's in that 15th spot. And a colorful race design done by Huffman Designs there.
Yeah, good looking car out there today. And you know, something I was just looking at, Steve. All but the 84 of David Farmer inside of the top 5 are up double digits and making some really big moves. You got the 88 of Nick Mills in 4th, up 24 spots. The 14 of Curtis Preston up 14 spots. The 28 of Alex Huffman up 28 spots. And the leader of Keith Hackney up 36 positions as he's currently under pressure from the 2 of Alex Huffman. Huffman's been having a pretty decent season, getting up in front, having some good runs right now. He wants that race lead side by side, almost dead even coming out of turn number 2. The outside line's going to maintain the momentum. Keith Hackney continues to lead this race. He was bringing Curtis Preston with him, but Preston will fall back in line. Here comes Alex Huffman back to the inside of Keith Hackney once again. Huffman with the position right now. Give it to Huffman at the line. Huffman leads his first lap of the race.
Well, BJ, what do you call it? Those two cars make contact?
What do you call it? A smashed banana.
Or a yellow blob. As Hackney and Huffman still side by side. I like the yellow. They really stand out, both of those cars. I like the yellow, so I like that. So
I have to agree, and they're both just a slightly different shade from each other.
yeah,
I like it.
it stands out. Yellow stands out, and BJ, you know, I like bright colors, so.
Oh, believe me, I know.
Because that one to me is dull. Jonathan Atkins in the 57. I could say that, okay? Driving for Team Watt this year. But it's nice. I mean, it's a nice looking car. I'm just giving a hard time. BJ knows me way too well when he makes stuff for me. I always tell him I want color, and I want bright.
See, and I make something, and I'm like, man, yeah, these colors go good together. This looks great. And I said it to Steve, and he goes, that's boring.
Alex Huffman, your race leader, Hackney, settled into the second spot. There's Curtis Preston in third, Jonathan Atkins in fourth, Nick Mills, your top five. A little further back, there's David Brackett. He was live last night. That 38 machine. Alex Healy, after getting that wreck down pit road, currently running 24th. GT Hawkins fans, he's right there in 26th position.
For the race lead earlier, had the incident between he and Brandon Robertson. Caused him to drop back, just not quite able to recover as out in front. So you got Alex Huffman now starting to pull away from Keith Hackney. Jonathan Atkins looking for that third spot around Curtis Preston. He had a good run last week, just was not quite able to capitalize. Got involved in a caution late race after, according to him, making a mistake choosing to come down pit road when he did. He is bringing Nick Mills right along with him to come to the outside of Curtis Preston.
Well, our title sponsor in the World Thunder Esports League tuned in watching his driver tonight. Bill Miller with Miller Family Trucking. Watching the Bluegrass. Giving him a shout out, sir. As you see Curtis Preston getting back around Jonathan Atkins. Huffman right there, leading the way on lap number 55. There's Keith Hackney in second. Curtis Preston in third. Let's go to that 10th spot. Travis Twitty. He's been right about 10th and 9th all race long. It's been consistent. Out of their way, past 13 cars. And he's just been sitting out on right about that 10th spot is David Farmer on his outside. That's currently listed in 9th position there. Ooh, that's the 96 of Mike Peters right behind him. Like he got a little spread out there. Josh Clemens, your pole sitter, currently running in that 13th position. Into his inside is Jonathan Schwartz. Now, Scott Fritz gets around him, and here comes the 15 of Matt Bernier and Bryce Hunter right there. And there's Mikey Neal Jr. currently running at that 17th spot there.
And Scott Fritz is one of the contenders at Pocono, the first race in the Xfinity Series, and coming to the finish of the race. Got into that wreck, caused him to fall back, trying to make up for it throughout the season. Riding 13th right now, 23 positions. He's having a pretty decent run for himself here tonight in the Cup Series, just slowly working his way forward. Speaking of working their way forward, Curtis Preston contending now for the race lead once again to the inside of Keith Hackney. And he's bringing Jonathan Atkins along with him to the inside.
There goes Hackney. He's going to fall in line with Curtis Preston. He's going to leave Jonathan Atkins to the inside all by himself. Oh, Atkins shut the door on Kinder. Kinder had to make the defensive move there to the inside. They're using every inch of this track. You see him coming out of turn number 4.
Everybody out here looking for every bit of speed that they can, trying to figure out where the fastest line is, trying to figure out where the draft line is going to be. Atkins shot back to the top side. Could have ended badly, but good heads-up driving by Kinder to drive back down to the inside. Our top 5 right now. Preston back to the race lead. Keith Hackney is second. Alex Huffman third. Nick Mills fourth. And Jonathan Atkins, your current top 5.
Here's Mikey Mill. I have in mind he was wanting. He was hyped up. Wanted to be up front, win us this race. Right ahead of him is the 09 of Bryce Hunter and Matt Bernier to his inside. Mikey, it looks like he's sitting in what those little cars when you're a kid, you know, you had their battery operated, you sit in, you gas it, go,
Power wheel.
yeah, it looks like he's sitting in one of those. You know how close he is to that steering wheel? It looks really tight, tensed up right there, you know? Like squashed.
Oh, yeah.
As we go to the side by side. Preston continues to lead in the 20 machine, having a good run tonight.
In front, I say right about 5, 6 drivers all single filed out. Nick Mills Jonathan Atkins under pressure from John Kinder, rather. Those two drivers side by side. Jonathan Atkins going to get the position, bringing David Farmer along with him. Farmer's been quiet here tonight, just staying right inside the top 5, right outside the top 5. He's not really made any big moves. He's not dropped back a whole lot. Just stayed quiet, hit his marks, done what he needs to do, looking for a good finish here tonight. And do it quietly and calmly. And that number 84 is right now, he's right at the back bumper of Jonathan Atkins. Green flag pit stop's about to be underway. Drivers calling out the pit stops. We'll see him coming down here momentarily. Jonathan Swartz going to be one of those drivers coming down pit road, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, he is. Roger Pierce down pit road.
Ely down pit road. Morris Jr. right there. There's GT Hawkins right now. He's currently in that 27th spot. CJ Basin in 24th in the 54. Lord help me. Hopefully that is his paint, BJ.
I believe so. I believe that's what I'm showing.
As you look at Curtis Preston continues to lead Keith Hackney in second. Now, you know what? From here on out, I'm going to be like, what do you call it? Like, observant.
Okay.
There's Nick Mills in the 88, up 25 spots. Hackney up 35, having a good run, a run for their life. Hackney goes to the bottom. Looks like he's going to use a little bit of that draft, maybe from 95. Jonathan Swartz. Now Swartz clears them both. Looks like Curtis Preston.
These guys are all heading down pit road. You see it right there. So Huffman free and clear and all by himself now. John Kinder, 0.2 seconds back from him.
There's, see Alex Huffman on the board there. The race leader, there is John Kinder. There's David Farmer and Frankie Broso.
And these guys will be coming down pit road. I believe all of the top 5 called out their pit stop for this time.
Well, there's David Farmer. Kinder, if he's coming down, he has to let Farmer get around him. Oh, no, they're going to make room.
It was definitely squeezing close. Oh, David Farmer, fast entry right there. Be surprised if he's not going to get caught with a speeding penalty on that one. But Mikey Neal Jr., Scott Fritz, the only 2 drivers, if I'm not mistaken, that have not yet come down pit road. Those 2 drivers will sit 1 and 2 right now. Oh, CJ Mason as well in the 54 out on track right there. You see him on screen.
Well, you know, CJ Mason's up 35 spots. He's gone so fast that color just went off that car. Peeled off. Peeled right off.
It was like the sprint cars at Bristol. Just peeled the decals off. He's moving so quick.
There's Mikey Neal Jr. and Scott Fritz coming down pit road. Let's see what CJ Mason does.
Looks like he's going to choose to come down pit road as well. You see him hugging the line. They're staying as close to the bottom as you can. There he goes.
There's Jonathan Swartz sitting in that 4th position.
Swartz has already made his pit stop. He'll be free and clear for a while. He's going to take over the race lead. You know, he's one of the drivers that sat pretty quiet. He pitted just a couple laps early compared to everybody else. Looks like it's really going to work out for him. As Blake Hensley last pitted on lap number 45, he's gonna have to come down pit road. And as I say that, he does call out his pit stop. He'll be coming down pit road as well and giving up more positions. But good job by Jonathan Swartz to get on and off pit road quickly. Dude, just early enough to make up the difference to be able to take over the race lead. Smart move by the 95.
Definitely is. Right now, you look at Blake Hensley running right there in that 7th spot, coming down pit road. On straight and hard with the TV live look in.
You just see on his face right there, he's really just not happy as he come down pit road right there. Had to restart the last restart at the rear of the field, and he did in fact have a penalty, and that's why he came down pit road. Was not happy about it at all. And now coming down pit road, giving up all those positions that he had gained. It looks like he's going to end up a lap down right here. Yes, he does. The 95 of Jonathan Swartz does go by him.
Yep, Swartz got off turn number 2 down the back straightaway. And iRacing car number 95. There's Curtis Preston in the 20, currently running second. There's Keith Hackney in his hip pocket. And Jonathan Atkins right there in 4th. 5th is Nick Mills in the 88 machine. And there is David Farmer in 84, currently running in 6th. Mike is right there behind him. There is Alex Huffman in that 8th spot. He has a little work to do. He's going to catch up to the front there. There's Mikey Jr. currently running in 9th. And Frankie Broso directly behind him. Broso having a good run tonight, up 25 spots. Scott Fritz up 25 spots, currently running into 11th. And there's Matt Grenier as Scott Fritz just made a pass. Matt Grenier for the 11th spot. Alex Healy currently running at 13th. And there's Bryce Hunter in the 09, having a fantastic run here tonight in the Cup Series, currently running 14th. Ron Morris directly behind him. Jason Bridges, who's currently running at 16th. Josh Clemens, the pole sitter, in the 28, currently running 17th. Brad Gebhart right there. Jonathan Swartz continues to lead, coming out turn number 2, down the back straightaway. There's Curtis Preston. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, if you throw a blanket over them. As there's single file down the back straightaway. Keith Hackney still in that 3rd spot. Atkins in 4th. Preston leading the way for 2nd place there. As they're trying to hunt down Jonathan Swartz, your race leader. As we look at the pit strategies on the board, Schwartz has been on the track 9 laps compared to Preston, Hackney, Atkins, and Mills, which has been 7 laps.
Yeah, all these guys. Huh?
Since they last pit.
Yeah. All these guys on relatively the same pit strategy. Jonathan Swartz just a little bit early. These guys only need one more pit stop to finish the race, if I'm not mistaken, as we're under 30 laps to go. And I expect to see Jonathan Swartz pull relatively the same move that he did there to get into the race lead and take an early pit stop compared to everybody else, of just enough to finish out the race, maybe enough to compensate for some green-white checkers if that does become a factor. So far this week, we finished both races on green-white checker in the Truck Series and the Xfinity Series. But right now, Jonathan Swartz leading the way with that gap between he and Curtis Preston, Keith Hackney, Jonathan Atkins, those 3 guys. Nick Mills now joins the line. Those 4 cars traveling very quickly, catching up to Jonathan Swartz right now. Swartz up to the high side now under pressure from Curtis Preston, goes to the bottom. Those 4 drivers will stay up to the top side and contend for the race lead.
Went into turn number 1. Swartz still there, but Preston in his hip pocket. There's the 69 of Hackney. He's going with Swartz with Preston, as Swartz is a little high there off of turn number 2. He will lose the race lead to Curtis Preston. Actually, he's going to lose 4 spots as he falls back to that 5th spot. Curtis Preston now your race leader in that 20 machine. Keith Hackney in 2nd. There is Jonathan Atkins currently running 3rd with Nick Mills right there. David Farmer now putting pressure on Jonathan Swartz in the 95. The 84 of Farmer looking to his side as they head into turn number 1.
I'm starting to wonder if Swartz didn't run that car a little bit too hard out there by himself and wear his tires out really quickly out there. So he didn't have anybody to drive with, didn't really have anybody to gauge whether or not he was taking it easy, and caution flag's gonna fly.
Mikey Hill Jr. up against that wall. That car looking a little burnt, PJ.
Yeah, it does not look like it wants to come off that wall. It is just stuck up there.
Oh, him and Blake Hensley. Blake Hensley gave him the chrome horn. Mikey Hill Jr., I guarantee you, is not happy about that. Look at the disappointment in his face right there. If you can read
tell
lips,
he's
you can
angry.
tell. It's a good thing we don't have mics on, because you can tell he's hot and heavy right now.
You could turn mics on.
Well, I could, but then, it might be in troubles. And there's Blake Hensley.
Yeah, but I'm curious. Let's see if I can turn mine on. No, mine is on. Oh, he muted his on his end. Oh, he's making sure we can't hear him. Ah, come on, Mikey. I want to hear it.
And there, look at the look on Blake Hensley's face as your lead pack comes down pit road.
It's going to be really, really close for these guys coming down pit road here. We'll go back green right about 21 laps to go. So it's going to be really close if we end up with a green-white checkered.
I mean, I can lip read a little bit, and I know some choice words were said there.
there were some choice words. I saw those ones.
Blake stays out. Jonathan Swartz come off the pit road in 2nd. Mike Peters comes off 3rd. Frankie Barroso, Curtis Preston, Keith Hackney in 6th. Jonathan Atkins 7th. Barber, Mills, Morris Jr. there.
So here looking at the pit times, Jonathan Swartz goes for fuel only. Mike Peters, right sides only. Frankie Barroso, fuel only. He'll start in 4th. Curtis Preston, 4 tires. Keith Hackney, Jonathan Atkins, David Farmer, and Nick Mills, 4 tires. Ron Morris Jr., fuel only. So strategy calls all over the board here to get track position. They don't have a whole lot of time on their tires, but they do have enough for where to start to show this is a very fast track. It's not got real high banks, and it's also, Steve, it's not the smoothest. So doesn't take a whole lot of laps for the tire wear to come into effect. So I think these guys with the fresh tires mixed in this group are going to be the ones to prevail, such as Frankie Barroso, Curtis Preston, Keith Hackney, Jonathan Atkins. I really think that these guys are going to be the ones to contend for the race lead. Mike Peters taking 2 tires. I'll be interested to see just how that one's going to play out for him.
Definitely lights go out on the pace car. It's going to be Chuck Blake and Jonathan Swartz on your front row. Blake will choose the inside, and Swartz will restart on the outside. But Bo Abbott will follow tailback, along with the 5 of John Kinder there. You know, I was going to say, you know, if Mikey Neal had the UDTV, it would have shielded him from the wreck, but that would have been a false statement because both of the drivers running with UDTV stickers were involved in the wreck at some point tonight.
Yeah, they're carrying UDTV, World of Thunder, Miller Friendly Trucking. See, those should be 3 solid Give Me Luck logos, and well, it didn't start out so well for him. Right now, Jonathan Atkins sitting in good position. He's sitting in 7th. He's got 4 fresh tires. Lights are out on the pace car. Let's see what happens.
Definitely. Mikey Neal Jr. looks like he's going to call it a night. Green flag back out in the air. Chuck Blake leading the way in the 49 Fanatec car. Mike Peters right there going to the inside. Side by side for the race lead. Coming out in turn number 2. Give it to Mike Peters. But here comes Blake battling back on the outside down the back straightaway. The little car that could. It goes alongside Mike Peters. But you better watch out. There's a herd of cattle coming. There. Oh, Scott Fritz, I believe, is around.
It looked like he was turned around up there on the wall. Ooh, Jason Bridges looks like he had help from the 53, I think.
3 wide situation, BJ.
It's 3 wide right here. You see Jason Bridges on the outside. Looks like he gets the run over the 53 of Bill Hales. See Scott Fritz all the way down to the inside. Ooh. That angle there, it looks like Bill Hales come up into the left rear of Jason Bridges a little bit. Sent Bridges down into Scott Fritz. Fritz nearly had it recovered, but man, it is so difficult to drive in the grass now. iRacing giving us an update on the grass textures and the way that driving it, making it a whole lot harder. See the pitch of the car change drastically when it goes over the change from grass to asphalt right there.
As you see right there, the 53 coming up just a tad bit. There's Jason Bridges.
Yeah, watch the lines on the track. Right. It looks like they both moved just a little bit there and kind of met in the middle. It does look like Jason Bridges was coming down watching the lines right there. He was heading into the turn, but Unfortunate for those drivers. But our top 5 right now still continues to be Mike Peters leading the way, followed by Curtis Preston, Chuck Blake, Jonathan Atkins found his way back into 4th, and Jonathan Swartz is your current top 5 here when we come back to the green, unless somebody decides to go down pit road, which one that I would expect to see come down pit road would be Chuck Blake in that number 49 machine. Last bit on lap 65, he does not have enough to make it to the end of the race. Everybody around him should have what they need to go the distance.
Definitely. "19 laps to go. Peters will restart on the outside, giving Preston the inside for this restart. Jonathan Atkins and Chuck Blake will start row number 2. Row number 3 will be David Farmer and Frankie Barroso. Look, Hensley out the race there. Also out Neil, Hubbard, and Stevenson. Robertson 7 laps down.
Yeah, not the night that they were looking for. Robertson out really early here tonight. Mike Peters choosing the outside. Not something we've really seen here tonight. Most everybody's chosen the inside. Curtis Preston to his inside. Jonathan Atkins, Chuck Blake, row number 2. David Farmer, Frank Barroso, row 3.
Alrighty. We're going to drop one more time. Let's base car down. Pit road coming to the Geico restart zone. Mike Peters can hit anywhere on the gas when he hits the Geico restart zone. Peters to a good start. That's going to allow Preston to close in behind him. We got caution on the Speedway.
I believe that was for an unapproved start. Race leader. They got to maintain pace speed of, I believe it's 70 miles an hour. He dropped 6 miles an hour down to 64. Race control decided to call that one back and do it over again.
Wait. I was going to see if it would show. Nope, it won't show it, but
unfortunately, SDK will not let it come up while on replay. There we go. Oh, he's already rolling there at speed.
well, no, that is after the caution, BJ.
Oh. That's live.
That's
Just
live.
so happened to be there at the same spot. Okay. Travers right now heading to catch up to the pace car.
So, Barney getting his no-no stick out. Barney was hoping not to show it tonight, the no-no stick, but he's going to. And you seen on Facebook, Barney got a facelift.
Oh?
Oh, yeah. It was on the iRacing Facebook page.
Oh, check that out.
Barney's showing the no-no stick to Mike Peters there, giving him a warning. As we're under caution, we want to thank the fine sponsors of the Bluegrass. Elevated Outdoors, JJ Gaming, Kinder Performance, Butt Kicker, Hupman Designs, Next Level Racing.
Just taking a quick read. The feelings have been hurt there. Trying to get word on black flag on here.
So feelings. Who has feelings?
Well, apparently drivers do. I was always told, you know, you get out on the track, you're supposed to put your feelings aside. Well,
Barney's showing the no-no stick to somebody else besides Mike Peters.
yeah, that one would be World of Thunder Racing number 46 of Sean Kostritza. But they're working on getting that one sorted to determine whether or not it is his fault.
Barney sings, I got the no-no stick. Base car pulling off into pit road, coming to 14 laps to go. Mike Peters can fire off anytime in the Geico restart zone.
Green
See
flag,
right there,
green flag.
green flag is out. We're racing. Mike Peters in
Huge.
good start.
Huge jump once again. It really seems as though he's got those restarts down. Jonathan Atkins managed to stick really right with him and take over that second position. Good start for both of those drivers.
As it come out, turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Jonathan Atkins, he wants to win here in the Bluegrass. He wants to lock himself into the playoffs later on in the season as he does take the lead in turn number 3. New race leader, car number 57 of Jonathan Atkins. Mike Peters falls back to second. There is Curtis Preston in that third spot. David Farmer currently running in fourth. Nick Mills. And there's Keith Hackney in sixth. Hackney has worked his way back into the sixth position after the last pit stop. Frankie Barroso currently running in seventh there. As you look, as you see Mike Peters running extremely high. Coming out turn number 2, him and Preston going to be side by side going down the back straightaway. Right now, Peters has that second spot. Preston right there on the bottom. And Farmer looking in between them right now. He's trying to figure out who he's going to go with as they come out turn number 4, coming to 12 laps to go for Jonathan Atkins. And Keith Hackney is not done now. He's looking to the inside of Nick Mills.
Keith Hackney ready to get moving forward. Race is coming to an end. Curtis Preston the same way. Mike Peters led quite a few laps here tonight. He is under heavy pressure and in danger right now of losing his second position even, and all the way back even looks like the 6th, as you can throw a blanket over the top 6 right there.
Well, Mike Peters goes to the inside of Jonathan Atkins as it comes out of turn number 4. Oh, Peters was coming up there. Coming to 11 laps to go. Atkins leads it at the line. Hackney right behind Peters as they go into turn number 1. We're 2 by 2 as Hackney will clear David Farmer going into turn number 2, coming out of 2. Now, Hackney looking to the inside of Atkins as they head down the back straightaway. Atkins coming down just a tad bit there. There's Mike Peters. He's going to the block on Keith Hackney. And here, Lad allows Jonathan Atkins to battle back on the high side. So if you're Mike Peters right here, coming 10 to go, you're kind of sitting duck, maybe.
Absolutely. Atkins showing a lot of speed running that middle side, but he gets all the way up to the top, and he just kind of stalls out up there. The inside line able to prevail when he gets all the way up top. Now he's back to the middle where he seems to carry a lot of speed, a lot of momentum coming off the corners, but just nowhere to go as Peters covering the track right there, dives way down to the bottom, trying to cover all the ground and slow everybody down. That allowed Atkins to secure that second spot, but Keith Hackney now battling back to the inside. Don't look now, but here comes the 84, David Farmer. The driver has been quiet the majority of the night. Now taking a look for that second position, 3 wide at the stripe.
3 wide as they come in the turn number 1. Hackney trying to secure that second spot to head after Mike Peters as they come out turn number 2. He just can't clear Jonathan Atkins. Atkins really strong, getting a good push there from Nick Mills right behind him. There's Alex Huffman. Huffman up to 6 now. He throw a blanket over your top 6, top 7 drivers. As you look at now, Atkins into the outside wall. Hackney takes over that second spot, coming to 8 laps to go. And look at Travis Twitty, BJ Kerman running in that 14th spot with Eric Pierce in 13th. There's Brad Gebhardt in the 12th. And there's Alex Healy in the 11th. Fred Holder has a top 10. But right now, look at this field of Hornets' nest.
These guys, it's still anyone's game inside of the top 7 are all running really tight. Mike Peters now looking like he might have things free and clear as Keith Hackney tries to gain on him side by side for that third spot. Can't help but wonder if that smack to the wall didn't hurt Jonathan Atkins. He's currently in danger of losing that third position to Nick Mills right now on his inside. Mills has the position at the stripe, but Atkins still trying to fight back to that high side. He's got David Farmer pushing him. Nick Mills has Alex Huffman pushing him. And then Curtis Preston right there in that 7th spot, just waiting for mistakes out of these guys in front of him.
Meanwhile, while they're battling, Keith Hackney's closed up on Mike Peters there. Hackney and Elite Performance Industries. There's Jonathan Atkins, 3 wide, BJ, for that third spot as they come out turn number 4.
Yeah, Atkins giving it everything he's got to hold on. David Farmer's going to take over that third spot, but here comes Alex Huffman to the outside. Contact between the inside drivers of Nick Mills and Atkins. No harm, no foul. They both continue on. Atkins looks like he might have let up a little bit to allow things to decongest some, but he's going to fall back into that 7th position.
Meanwhile, there is Hackney. He's all over it. He wants that win. Hackney right there. Just don't have it just yet. But he's giving everything he has. As Hackney already has 1 win on the season besides GT Hawkins.
Sweet.
So, Hackney trying to make it to the season in the Cup Series.
As it is 5 to go, right about 4.5 to go now as they head down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Top 4 drivers have now single filed out. Alex Huffman trying to get past Nick Mills, now 3 wide for that 4th spot. Nick Mills on the outside, Huffman in the middle, Curtis Preston on the inside. Preston with the position at the line, it looks like. Down into turn number 1, Curtis Preston. Shorter way around the track is the way to go for Curtis Preston. He's got to slide up in front of Nick Mills. He's got that 4th spot secure.
As they come down the back straightaway, Keith Hackney, you see him right there. He's trying to size up his competition as they go into turn number 3. Caution out on the raceway.
And 3 for 3 this week, Steve.
Well, that wasn't it. Oh.
We're 3 for 3 on green-white checkers. We take a look at our NLRA instant replay. Looks like the 09 of Bryce Hunter just comes down across the nose. Not real sure who that was. Goes around under in the infield. Still not real sure who that is. .44, Brad Gebhardt.
As you look at him coming out turn number 2 there, you see the 28 right ahead of him. You look right there, I mean, Bryce is in his line, but it looks like Brad's coming up a tad bit, and Bryce came down just a hair.
Brad Gebhardt did seem to cover the most ground right there from that point of view, coming up the track into him. Your top 5 now looks like this: Mike Peters, Keith Hackney, David Farmer, Curtis Preston, and Nick Mills. The guys battling Alex Huffman, Jonathan Atkins, rounds out the 7 cars that we had in that battle up in the front.
Well, it's people coming down pit road. Brackett Hells, Barroso, Mason, Hawkins, Blake, Silvers, Lancaster, and Robertson all down pit road. See Wyatt getting a lap back.
And Jonathan Atkins actually, or not Atkins, Jonathan Swartz actually stood to be the lucky dog for that restart. But unfortunately for him, he was on pit road at the time the caution came out, so he forfeited his chances of getting the lucky dog. Unfortunate position for him. Looks like final lap tonight will be lap 102, if I'm not mistaken, unless lights go out right here. No, it'd still be, lights go out right here. It'd still be lap 102, the final lap. '96 will choose the outside line for this restart. Keith Hackney to the inside of him. David Farmer, Curtis Preston, row 2. Nick Mills, Alex Huffman, row 3. Jonathan Atkins, Brandon Holder, row number 4. Still anyone's game inside the top 10. We saw that 7 drivers fighting for position. Possibly, Steve's close to the most lead changes we saw in a 10-lap distance right there.
Definitely, and I almost had a heart attack while under caution getting the email saying my Amazon order shipped. And you scroll down your email, and I was looking to see what shipped. Well, it had the laser 3D printer. I'm like, oh, hell no, I didn't order that. Because that's over $1,000. And it says continue shopping for. I was like, ooh. I almost passed out on the floor with the green-white checkered.
Yeah, I'd love to have me a 3D printer.
Me too, but not tonight, that's for sure.
Next time we have a big overtime and Jason has to pay you $200 a minute.
Yeah. Moneybags, Jason Collins. Get involved with Bluegrass Race with you Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday nights, trucks. It's been the Cup Series. Get a hold of Jason Collins and Bluegrass Facebook page. Base car pulling off to the infield. Here we go. Mike Peters bringing us to the Geico restart zone.
Green, green, green.
Green flag is out. Peters clears Hackney as they head into turn number 1. Hackney and Preston side by side. Preston on the outside. Oh, Farmer looked like he got the back of Hackney's a tad bit. It might have helped him a tad bit, though. That's it coming out, turning down the back straightaway. They're 3 wide. Right there for that 4th, 5th, and 6th place there. Farmer right behind Alex Huffman. Huffman sees the 20 of Preston right in his front. As they come into the white flag, one more to go for Mike Peters.
Peters looks like he's free and clear right now. Got right about a car length and a half lead over Keith Hackney as Hackney moves into that 2nd position. The top 5 drivers now single file out. Here comes Curtis Preston, the inside of Keith Hackney. Down the back straightaway. He wants everything he can get side by side for 2nd. Side by side for 2nd as Alex Huffman sticks his hat in the mix.
Oh, Nelly. Look out. We might be 4 wide for the race for 2nd place. As Mike Peters wins, Keith Hackney listed as 2nd, Curtis Preston, Alex Huffman at 4th, David Farmer, your top 5 unofficially. And we had to cut some carnage with Wyatt Brackett involved coming to the line. Mike Peters claiming his first win of the season, locking himself into the championship long as he races the minimum amount of races.
And what a job by Mike Peters. Started on the front row. Started in 2nd place, come home with a race win. Fantastic job. Keith Hackney 2nd, as you mentioned. Curtis Preston is confirmed in 3rd. Man, what a finish.
Definitely. Taking a look at your official results on the board. Mike Peters coming home with the win. Keith Hackney is 2nd. Curtis Preston 3rd. 4th is Alex Huffman. David Farmer with the top 5 tonight. Brent Holder coming home in 6th with Frankie Brusso 7th. Jonathan Atkins at 8th. Nick Mills at 9th. Matt Grenier, your top 10. Roger Pierce at 11th. Travis Twitty at 12th. 13th be Alex Healy. 14th be Bo Abbott. 15th be Josh Clemens. David Brackett will come home 16th. 17th be Brad Gibbhart. 18th be John Kinder. Coming home in 19th position tonight will be Wyatt Brackett and Ron Morse Jr. with the top 20.
And it's going to be Bill Hills, Bryce Hunter, Dustin Reinsdale, Sean Kostritza, Brian Terry, 25th, CJ Mason, Jonathan Swartz, GT Hawkins, Tony Iverson, Chuck Blake, your top 30, and then James Silvers, Adam Lancaster, Brandon Robertson, Scott Fritz, Blake Hensley, 35th, Jason Bridges, Mikey Neal Jr., Peyton Hubbard, and Jason Stevenson, rounding out your 39-car field here tonight. Jason Stevenson not taking the starting grid.
Well, we're going to throw it to a quick commercial. We'll be right back with post-race interviews. Well, welcome back to Ultimate Dirt TV. Well, Mike Peters, congratulations on the win.
Thanks, man. This is pretty great. It was nice to, last race I didn't even get to take a single green flag lap on the lead lap, and it was nice to not get caught up in anything. This was a big change from last week. This was refreshing.
Definitely, as the momentum now leaving here tonight on your side. You're now locked into the championship round. At the end of the season, as long as you make a certain amount of races, but you're looking forward to that.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's just one of those things where now I can kind of race. I'm not going to say recklessly, but it's like now we're locked in. The Cornerstone guys, we've swept all three of the first races this year. So even though a lot of us have had just bad, intermittent kind of just crap luck, it's one of those things where we're punching those tickets and getting everybody in. So and another 1, 2, 3 finish for us is just awesome.
Definitely. Go ahead and thank those fine sponsors making it all possible for you.
Yeah, no, for sure. iRacing is an awesome way to do motorsports. We're gonna turn off the computer and go home here in a minute. We don't have to put it in the trailer or anything. So, first thanks off to Raising Cane's, Chicken Fingers. They support my pro truck program at Houston Motorsports Park as well as the iRacing stuff. The same with One Guard Inspections. It's a mechanical failure inspection agency. It's a great employment opportunity for any automotive enthusiasts around the country. Carry the Loads of Veterans Charity that I partner with. What they do is they take a lot of funding and they distribute it to smaller organizations that don't really have funding. It's a great cause. CarryTheLoad.org on that. And then our cornerstone sponsors, we've got Function Junction Smoke Shop, Mountain View Detailing, Air Professionals of Western North Carolina, Marathon Garage, and we got some paint guys in there. But the Cornerstone team, I just stumbled across them on the Facebook one day, and they were like, "Hey, if anybody wants to do a team," and I was like, "You know what? I've never done a team. Let's go." And now we're here, so this is awesome. And thanks to you guys for broadcasting it. And Bluegrass are putting on a pretty tight show. They run a tight ship over there. I like it. So this is fun to actually see one of these races start to finish.
Definitely. Congratulations to Mike Peters winning tonight at Michigan. Well, BJ, you caught up with our second place finisher tonight, Keith Hackney.
That's right. We flip-flop numbers from the 96 to the 69 now. Keith Hackney, man, what a run you had from the back of the field to the front of the field, contending for a race win, just not quite able to come up with it in the end.
Yeah, man. Just unfortunate circumstances from last week. Kind of just having a driver error and spinning on the first lap. And, got the penalty or whatever, starting the rear. It was okay, man. I'll be completely honest. I did not, or I haven't even turned no practice laps here in these cars. Just other than the Xfinity last night and some trucks a little bit with Peyton and stuff. So I was sitting here trying to figure out what I was going to do as far as like some of my settings, within the car. Coming from the rear, I played a little slight different strategy early on. I think a lot of people pitted, and then I pitted, I think, like 2 laps later, and I was just trying to conserve fuel right there at the end of the stage break, and I actually come up with some stage points, got a lot of track position, and that's all I wanted was to set me up for the end of the race there. So, right there at the end, I mean, I had my teammates all around me. I didn't want to race Mike like that. I wanted to actually just me and him, nose to tail and sort of pull away from Farmer and stuff like that, which we was doing all right. I kind of hated that caution, honestly, just because of the little cushion that we had. And then right there at the end, my right front was gone. Like, it was absolutely gone. I was doing whatever I could just to hold on to where I was at underneath Curtis. If he wasn't there, then yeah, I could have rode that line. But coming to that line, man, I knew I had Curtis, in 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4. It pushed so hard, but I never really cracked the throttle because I knew if I did, I was going to get past. I didn't even know Healy was down there, or not Healy, but Huffy was down there at the bottom, and not even Farmer either until he said something. So I was like, oh man. So I just kept my foot in the throttle, and we seen the checkers, and that's just how it ended up.
It definitely worked out for you. Congratulations on your second place finish. Go ahead and thank your sponsor shots. That will make it possible.
I mean, I got to think of NLR first and foremost, Elite Performance Industries, NH Lens, Custom Cabinets by Keith, W Energy, Function Junction, Mountain View Detailing, Aerial Professionals by WNC, Sorrell's Marathon Garage, Cornerstone, a lot here. This team is unbelievable across the board with the trucks, Xfinity, and the Cup. We've shown that, or they have. I haven't really in Xfinity, but they have. So I'm proud to be a part of this team, and I gotta give a shout out to Tosh if he's in there watching. So.
All right, that is Keith Hackney, your second place finisher. Steve.
All right, Curtis Preston, congratulations on your third place finish tonight.
Oh, appreciate it, guys. It was I was a barn burner there at the end, huh?
It definitely was. That was for sure. I mean, you had your you know, you had your name in the mix all night long. Top 3. Can't get no better than that, could it?
We could have been a little better. I felt like we had the car. We could have finished more. We just that restart with like 15, 16 to go. Just mindset at Michigan. You can't go out there and run qualifying laps with that many laps left. You'll burn them up. So we were trying to save a little bit. Probably saved a little too much. Ran a little too conservative there early and gave up too much track position. We were trying to bring it back there until that last yellow come out and. Got under Keith there coming into 3, and then the 2 got underneath me, and I couldn't get all the way to the bottom like I wanted to and get the drive off. But glad nobody wadded up there. It's fun when you run door to door like that, rub fenders, and everybody finishes.
Definitely. Go ahead, thank your fine sponsors making it all possible.
I got to thank Sheffield Graphics, 213 Simware, all the guys at Cornerstone Motorsports. I got to thank W Energy. You can get a 10% off with them if you use the code Cornerstone. Function Junction, Mountain View Detailing, Area Professionals, Sorrells Marathon Garage. Appreciate you guys broadcasting for us. Appreciate everybody at Bluegrass in the Cup Series, man. That was a good time tonight. A lot of fun. Appreciate everybody tuning in.
All right. That's Curtis Preston coming home in 3rd place tonight. Congratulations, sir.
Thanks, guys.
Well, BJ, that's going to conclude our broadcast. Now we'll be back next Monday night with the Truck Series at Atlanta. Until then, we're going to sign off, say good night, and God bless.